Jurrien Timber has to be managed carefully, admits Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta. Jurrien Timber has to be managed carefully, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has suggested after taking the Gunners' defenders off at halftime during yesterday's 2-0 win over Paris Saint-Germain. Timber has shown for Arsenal this season, but he is only recently come back from a very lengthy injury that kept him out for almost the entire 23-24 campaign, so it perhaps makes sense that Arteta is being careful with him. The Netherlands international seemingly had some discomfort after the opening 45 minutes at the Emirates Stadium, so Arteta decided to play it safe and remove him, with Jakob Kivior coming on for the second half of the game. Arsenal fans will be relieved that it doesn't seem like anything too serious for Timber, who has really shown the club what they were missing while he spent last season on the sidelines. Discussing his decision to take Timber off, Arteta said, as quoted by the Evening Standard, "He was unbelievable. He felt something muscular, and we didn't want to take any risk. He has been out a year and played a lot of minutes. We have to manage him." Timber clearly needs to be monitored after such a serious injury, so Arsenal supporters will be glad to see that Arteta seems to have a plan in place for that. It would be a real shame if the 23-year-old picked up another injury so soon after returning for Arsenal, who will no doubt want to have this versatile talent available as often as possible this term. Timber seems like a natural in any position he plays, having shown at both right back and left back so far, while he's also played at centre back in the past. It's easy to see why Arsenal signed Timber from Ajax, and he will surely have a big future at the club if he can stay fit. Mikel Merino did something within seconds of his Arsenal debut that proves his elite mentality. It took longer than expected, but Mikel Merino finally made his debut for Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain on a Tuesday night in their mouth-watering Champions League clash. The Gunners took control of the tie in the first half with two goals from Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka, Luis Enrique's League One giants having no answer and therefore coming away from the Emirates Stadium empty-handed. Havertz, former manager Frank Lampard, was working at the game with Amazon Prime Sport and detailed his happiness that everything is starting to come together for the German international. Arsenal's performance was so dominant that only Real Madrid are better in one key area. There is a feeling that the North Londoners are getting better and better, and even Bukayo Saka sounded a title warning to Liverpool and Man City. The confidence is clearly flowing through the squad, and that's a vital ingredient to have at this early stage of the season. Performance levels need to stay high, with the players pushing each other on the greater heights. That's just what Merino did within seconds of making his bow, according to Football London. The Spaniard, a recent European Championship winner with Spain, was seen to be barking instructions at fellow new boy Riccardo Calafiori. Clearly no shrinking violet, Merino's introduction provided Gunners fans with a view of his elite mentality, something his teammates should take notice of and learn from. When the going gets tough, you need warriors in the trenches and the players who are prepared to dig their colleagues out if they have given an impression that they are not trying hard enough. It's been over 20 years since Arsenal last won the Premier League title, and almost that long since they appeared in a Champions League final. Merino, for one, will want to go all out to change that. Arsenal's resolve to be seriously tested by Euro giants. Arsenal defender William Saliba is reportedly said to be the subject of strong transfer interest from Paris Saint-Germain, who could be ready to put as much as 100 million euros on the Gunners' table for the French centre-back. Saliba has been a star performer for Arsenal in the last few years, initially having to gain experience out on loan before emerging as a regular starter for Mikel Arteta's side in the 22-23 season, when he also ended up being badly missed through injury towards the end of the campaign. Arsenal surely won't want to lose Saliba anytime soon, but a slightly worrying report from Vigaches states that PSG could be prepared to offer as much as 100 million euros for the 23-year-old, which would supposedly force the North London Giants to reconsider their stance on the player. It will be interesting to see how this pans out. but it's hard to imagine the Gunners would really let Saliba go at the moment, and 100 million euros doesn't really seem like the kind of money that would be enough to change their minds. As long as Arsenal are winning project, one imagines Saliba won't be tempted to leave the Emirates Stadium, but of course, the trophies haven't quite been flowing just yet. Arteta won the FA Cup with Arsenal back in 2020, while his side picked up the Community Shield last season, but they will want to close that gap on Manchester City and finally win the Premier League title, while the Champions League could also be a realistic aim. Saliba will surely be a key part of that, but it perhaps wouldn't be too surprising if he were at some point to have his head turned by a big club like PSG, who could undoubtedly offer him big money and a starring role, plus the chance to return to his native France. Saliba played for Arsenal as they beat PSG 2-0 in their Champions League clash at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal monitoring 25-year-old England international along with the Premier League rivals. Arsenal are tracking the progress of Crystal Palace midfielder Adam Wharton, according to Team Talk. The Gunners have strengthened their squad extensively in the last few transfer windows, with the club financially backing Mikel Arteta after his brilliant work at the Emirates Stadium. Arteta has made Arsenal title contenders, and for the last 2 seasons, they have competed against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City side. Despite getting close to winning the title, Arsenal have lost out on both the occasions against Man City. They are now ready to add more players to their squad to topple the dominance of Guardiola's team. The Gunners added Mikel Merino, Riccardo Calafiori, Raheem Sterling and Neto to their squad this summer, but now they want English midfielder Wharton, who has attracted the attention of some of the biggest clubs in England. Manchester United, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, Bayern Munich and Man City are all interested in the midfielder after his rapid rise to prominence following his move to Palace. Wharton has already made his debut for England while still being at Palace, which shows how talented the midfielder is. The Gunners currently have the options of Thomas Partey and Jorginho in the holding midfield position, with both the players entering the final year of their contract this season. Arteta has started making plans for life without both of them. Wharton could be the ideal replacement of those two players, and his passing quality in the middle of the park is going to add value to the Arsenal side. Partey and Jorginho are both well over 30, and someone like Wharton could freshen up the Arsenal midfield and add pace, creativity, and athleticism to the side. The 20-year-old midfielder has a long-term contract at Selhurst Park until 2029 to be precise. The Gunners would have to pay a hefty amount of transfer fees to lure the player to the club. Wharton is well known for his passing ability and his quality to keep possession, something that Arteta would love in his midfield. Arsenal keeping tabs on a 23-year-old La Liga-wide player. Arsenal have been linked with a move for the Girona left-back Miguel Gutierrez. The 23-year-old has done quite well for the La Liga club, and his performances have attracted the attention of the North London outfit. According to a report from TBR Football, Arsenal are looking to get rid of Jakub Kivior in the upcoming windows, and they are looking to bring in defensive reinforcement. Although Gutierrez is not a central defender, he could prove to be a very useful acquisition for Arsenal. They need more depth in the left-back area, and Gutierrez could be an important first-team player for them. The 23-year-old certainly has the quality to succeed in the Premier League, and he has shown his ability in La Liga already. The player was recently linked with a move to Liverpool as well. It remains to be seen whether Arsenal can beat the competition for his signature and get the deal done. The former Real Madrid defender could add a new dimension to the Arsenal attack. The Spaniard is quite impressive going forward, and playing alongside top-class players at Arsenal could get the best out of him. The opportunity to move to the Premier League will be quite attractive for the player, and it will be an exciting step up in his career. It will be interesting to see if Arsenal follow up on their interest with an official proposal in the coming months. Gutierrez is still only 23, and he will only get better with coaching and experience. He could develop into a key player for the Gunners with the right guidance. Arsenal would do well to secure his services for a reasonable fee. They have the resources to get the deal done, and it remains to be seen how the situation develops. Arsenal back to sign a Premier League striker who is shining this season. Football Pundit and former Manchester United attacker Dwight Yorke has backed Arsenal to make a move for Aston Villa striker John Duran. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta was expected to sign a new striker in the summer transfer window, but he showed faith in his current players. The Spaniard decided to start the season with Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, and Leandro Trossard as his attacking options. Havertz has done well for the Gunners so far this season, continuing the brilliant form he showed last season since joining the North London club from their rivals Chelsea. The German attacker scored a clever header against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League this week, helping Arteta's team to their first win in the competition this season. However, former Manchester United striker Dwight Yorke has claimed that the Gunners need a natural number 9 and they need to make a move for Aston Villa attacker Duran. He said, John Duran, he looks a real handful and a bit different from the rest. He's got that good presence about him. I would take a chance on him. He looks like the real deal. What I look for is people who are hungry, and he's got that. In terms of the big boys, Arsenal haven't got an outstanding number 9. Duran has been in fine form for Unai Emery's team this season, scoring 4 goals in the league and 1 goal in the Carabao Cup. The Colombian attacker was linked with a move away from Villa Park all summer, but nothing materialized on that front, and he has not let transfer talk about his career have any effect on his performances on the pitch. Duran does not have a starting role at Villa Park due to the presence of Ollie Watkins at the club, but the attacker makes sure that he impresses whenever he is given the opportunity to play. As it stands, Arteta is satisfied with his attacking options, and Havertz is playing well for the Gunners, but it could be an option in the future, particularly if Arsenal fail to win the Premier League again. The North London club are currently third in the Premier League, and they are still unbeaten in all competitions. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.